And there we were. Ladies and gentlemen, hello. It's John in Tucson again. I'm hoping that you are going to be able to hear me on this recording. I'm trying all kinds of things to do this on the cheap, technology-wise. I'm going to be ordering a lapel mic, because I think that's a good idea. Because the mic in the cell phone camera I'm using obviously is not picking up the sound properly, and a lot of ambient road noise and things like that. So I'll get one of those. I'm using my same camera mount in the windshield on the dashboard right now because it's cooled off because of the cloud cover, which is really nice. But I still have the air conditioning going and pointed up towards it, so hopefully it'll stay cool and not shut off. All right, let us go ahead and do our thing. I need to make a quick trip over to the central part of Tucson, and we'll see where this goes. Let's have fun. In the meantime, music. My eyes and my words, and in everything I do. Two. Nothing else but you. Turn that down, shall we? As you might have seen from my other videos, I am a Regine Velasquez fan. And in this lovely old 2005 Mercury Grand Marquis LS that we are in at the moment and filming on, about a year ago, I was on the horns of an enema, as Christina Applegate's character would say, on, what was it, something with children. Anyway, and I was looking at different cars to change this one out, you know, despite the fact that it only had about 90,000 miles on it at the time. And it was in excellent condition. And I decided to keep this car simply because I don't want car payments. I hate car payments. I hate them. It's bad enough I have a small mortgage payment that I have to make every month. But no car payment. So instead, I went ahead and plowed about $4,000 into this car, and I took it to the dealer and I said, I was very honest with him. I said, you can do anything and everything the car needs to have done to it for the 100,000 mile checkup, and I also want you to add LED lights to the headlamps, cornering lamps, turn signal lamps, backup lights, turn signals in the back, all the lights in the exterior of the car are now LED. Of course, I had to supply them to them. So that's all updated and done. And new tires and all this and that. I put in this car, it came with, let's put this on pause. This is annoying me. I'm paying too much attention to it. What I did was, the original sound system that came with the car, it had the AM, FM with a CD player, you know, and they were big and clunky, and thank God for that. But the CD player never works on those things after a while, especially in Arizona. I mean, the heat just kills them. So I ripped it out and I dropped in a Kenwood system, DVD player, CD player. Anything you could plug into any technical computer type device that you have at home will plug into this thing. It plays videos while you're going down the road and the whole 9 yards. I paid I paid the installation guy to bypass the cutoff, so you can't watch it while you're going down the road. I use it for my YouTube music. And I used to stream YouTube through my phone, so I would have my music. You know, yeah, there was a video playing on the screen, but I never paid attention to it. It also has excellent GPS. It has a Garmin GPS system in it. Bluetooth, hands-free, phone, and all that garbage. Sirius radio if you want it. It's got all that crap on it. But it was expensive, you know, especially with the speaker system I'd put in with it. I wanted this, you know, a nicely powered subwoofer in the trunk and all new speakers with surround and all this. You know, so the whole setup cost me about $2,000. I am so pleased with it though. You know, now I just have everything downloaded onto thumb drives instead of using my cell phone, and I cut out the video and keep the music, and there you go. Well, could watch video if I want to. Actually, Mom watched a movie the other day when we were going somewhere that I had on a thumb drive, and I was just playing it through the system in the car. I like it. I like it. I like it. I don't drive the car that often, as in every day, you know, as in a 9-to-5 job. Since there we go, we'll go this route. No, we won't. We'll take Grant Road. Since I don't work anymore, and I'm basically retired due to disability, and I'm on full-time disability, legitimately, and so consequently, I don't drive around a whole lot. I've got my 87-year-old mother who lives with me, and we take care of each other. And for her to get in and out of the car and just walk to it, it can be difficult. And a lot of times she doesn't want to anyway. So I stick pretty close to home if I'm in the car and going anywhere. But still, the time that I spend in the car, I want to enjoy it. And that music, for me, is the ticket. Music is my world. I adore music. Absolutely adore it. I just understand it innately. It's a magnificent language. And tool and everything else, and math's involved. It's pretty cool. So yeah, the car is an amazing entertainment system. And it's like I said, it's a pleasure to drive. It's a road car. It's designed to go ahead and just gobble up bazillions of miles in comfort. You know, it's basically a Lincoln town car without the formal roof line, because I did also look at a town car. It was a black Cartier edition. The only thing that this car did not have that car had was a power sunroof. And I don't want a power sunroof. Those things leak, and they're always a problem. But other than that, I kept looking back and forth at the two cars, comparing the interiors, the engines, underneath, trunks, everything. I'm driving the same car as a Lincoln Continental town car, the ones that they discontinued when they dropped the Panther platform, which is what the Ford Crown Victoria, Mercury Grand Marquis, and Lincoln Town Car were all built on the same platform. Same engine, same drive, same everything underneath. Same underpinnings, in other words. Just different exteriors. Even between the Mercury Marquis and the Crown Victoria, the differences were, so minimal. It was like, why are you even bothering to sell through both channels? It was very confusing. Anyway. And then you had the Lincoln Town Car, which I thought was supposed to be bigger and better and lovelier and this and that. Same amount of interior space, same trunk space, and I climbed inside of it, and it was like climbing inside of my own car, and everything was the same. The only difference in the interior, other than the sunroof, was there was a little round analog clock with a little gold bezel on it. That was the only difference. Give me a break. So, anyway, I'm basically driving a Lincoln. And like I said in previous videos, they drop the lines because they want to focus people's attention on trucks. That's where they're making their money. And they can get a lot of people on those things now, because these cars, like I'm driving now on the Panther platform, which with a 4.6 liter V8, it used to be rated at pulling 5,000 pounds up until I believe it was 1998. And then they changed the body style and the rear suspension, and they said, no, you can no longer tow anything with this car. Can't do it, forcing you to go to the truck line so you can tow your trailer or whatever it is, boat. And I looked into that extensively, and sure enough, Ford's lying about the whole thing. In fact, the rear suspension that they put in these things made them safer and easier to pull things behind it. But they wanted you to think that, no, too dangerous, can't do it. Sure, these will do it. But if you put a hitch on the back of this thing and drag something down the road and get in a wreck, guess what? You're not covered, and you can be sued into the ground because the manufacturer says, no, it cannot tow anymore. Marketing. I hate it. Anyway, a buck is a buck. Mom and I just finished spending some quality time together in my man cave. She wanted to see some videos that are on my channel, obviously, of Michigan, of where she grew up, my grandmother's house on Kruger Road. And she smiled and was happy and was laughing watching the videos and saying, oh, I'm so glad you have this. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, she's been here in the desert for 65 years now, 60 years. You know, I'm born and raised in Michigan, where it's green and lush and you have seasons and this and that. And for whatever, you know, the circumstances of her life brought her out to the desert, and she's been here ever since, and she hates Arizona. She absolutely hates it here. Oy. And I would be more than happy to sell the house and move to a different location like Michigan. Unfortunately, neither one of us could get through the winters. Certainly not at her age. Slipping and falling, that's it. Cracked, broken hip, it's over with. So, no. I personally can't, I don't like the cold. I don't like the cold. When I'm out here in the desert, I can do something about that. Heck, I've got a pool in the backyard. Jump in, cool off. You know? Evaporative cooler inside of the house that I have, that I use most of the time, that thing will freeze you out, and it's because of the dry climate. It does a magnificent job of cooling that house off, with the exception of probably mid-July through probably mid-August, and then going towards the end, because the humidity level spikes. That's called our monsoon season. That's our rainy season for the summer. So that's when I switch over to the AC and we use that. But boy, big difference in cost between running air conditioning and evaporative cooling. Let me tell you. God, running the evaporative cooler, it's got to be 1/8 the price to run that, as opposed to running the AC unit, which if you run it, let it cycle on and off for 24 hours within a month, set at 76 degrees, your power bill here would be right around $400 plus for 1 month, as opposed to paying right around $80 a month for electricity running the evaporative cooler. So, easy decision to make. Plus, I have spot AC units in the windows in the house anyway, so that works too. At any rate, we are going down Grant Road. This is one of our big east-west arteries. It's been here a million years. It's been widened several times. There used to be the coolest old adobe homes lining this road back when it was just a 2-lane. Oh, it was amazing. And of course, they're all gone now. Have been for a long time. Yep. Very interesting. Tucson's a great place to live, you know? Like today, it's overcast, it's cloudy. It's probably, I don't know. I'm gonna guess it's probably about maybe 80 degrees, if even that. It's probably in the upper 70s, and it's beautiful outside. Absolutely beautiful. Yep, I'm very lucky to live where I live. I like it a lot. Okay, another red light. There's a reason I did not want to come down Grant Road, but here we are. Oh, come on, someone just let him in. Be nice. Let the car in. Come on, let him in. Thank you. Come on, people. Show a little civility while driving. Well, courtesy. Courtesy is a good thing. Courtesy is a good thing. Oh, and on a side note here, since I worked in the insurance claims industry for many, many years up in Phoenix, people that go ahead, let's suppose there's a car on a side street here on my right, okay? And it's sitting there, and this happens. You've got this line of traffic like this, and they're blocking your way to get out into the street to make a left-hand turn. Well, people that stop like this and go, come on, you can come now, it's okay. And then that thing pulls out, makes its left turn, and here comes a car coming down the suicide lane that runs right into it. Guess who gets blamed for that? It's the guy that pulled out from the side that you very nicely allowed to go out into traffic and play blindly. Don't. When people say, come on in, it's okay, we'll let you come through us and make that left-hand turn. No, don't do it, please. It's stupid. You're taking a chance. You will get in a wreck, and if you do, it's your fault. You will get the ticket. You will be cited. It will be your fault. And your insurance rates will reflect that. So, just a little side note. Thought I'd throw that in simply because. Right now, I'm going to be turning right onto Country Club Road. This is a north-south artery. One of the larger ones. It actually winds through some very pretty parts of central Tucson. I used to live over here in this area, about a block south of where we are sitting at the moment, in an old territorial adobe that had been built from the ground surrounding where the structure was built, using straw and mud. Cool house. I used to have a photo of it, when it was the only thing around and it was surrounded by nothing but desert. And now it's all, you can see what it is. We're driving through it. It's no more desert. And it looks like this for, about another 9 miles, at least. Alright, let's see what we have here. Yep, if you turned right here on Edison Street to the right, that's where my old territorial adobe was. My father gifted it to me. Gifted one to my brother as well. And I wound up giving the house back for a number of reasons. But I'm glad I did it. motivated me to get out there and learn to survive on my own instead of having it given to me. That's not the way to teach your kids. Don't give. Gotta teach them how economics actually works. Because they will expect you to support them. They will indeed. And if they have to go out on their own, they flounder as a rule of thumb. So, yeah. Where are we at? 1600 north. Is this going down or up, or what is it doing? Yeah, I was kind of afraid of that. Anyway, folks, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to stop this now, and I need to put in some GPS information. Because I'm going someplace I have not been before, and I need to take care of that. So, we'll pull in here. I have no idea whose place this is. I'm sure they won't mind. I'll just sit here for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, I may make part 2. Let's see. Have a good one.